Hello, hello, and welcome to the Fairy Coach Tarot channel. And today we have our weekly energy forecast for the week of Monday, March 9th to Sunday, March 15th. And remember that we also look during this tarot reading that it is a pick deck. We also look at the influence of the moon or the season that we are in nature at this time. And this week we have on Wednesday, March 11th, we have the last quarter moon. That means that the moon is waning, so the energy is decreasing, right? That the energy that the full moon brings. So that's going to influence also how we read the cards this week. All right. And we are going fast into the spring equinox soon. So I'll have more offerings and more on that coming. But now let's look at the energies of the week. We're going to do a pick a deck where you pick the deck that resonates with you or the fairy that you like the most. All right? All right. Let's ground and center and connect through the breath. All right. Sit in a comfortable position, roll those shoulders back, relax your jaw, and let's take a deep breath in together. Hold it for a couple of seconds and exhale gently, making that exhale longer as if you were blowing a birthday candle. All right, roll those shoulders back again. And now, without thinking, just pick the fairy that calls you or the deck that resonates. Okay, let's go. And remember, during these Pika decks with the weekly energies, we look at the beginning of the week, the middle of the week, and the end of the week, the weekend, keeping in mind that energy of the moon during this time. Okay, let's say a little prayer for those who have picked this deck and set the intention. We want the beginning of the week's energy, middle of the week, and the end of the weekend. Okay, with that waning energy from the moon. All right, beginning of the week, middle of the week, and two cards for the end of the week. Okay, let's see what this week has in store for us. Remember, this is a collective reading, and the first card I always say it's the energies Monday and Tuesday, main energies, and we have the 10 of challenges. That is usually the 10 of swords in regular tarot called. So what these energies tell us? And it goes perfect with that waning energy of the moon. So the 10 of challenges is there are some challenges or struggles that are coming to an end, right? There has been an energy that may have been a bit heavy around conversations, around thoughts that you've been having, perhaps self doubt. So, all that energy is coming to an end. Is a number 10, that means it's a culmination, right? And the swords is that air element, right? That impacts our communication, our thoughts. It's very intellectual. So, this is the end of thinking of some challenges that you may have been going through, or even negative thinking, self doubt, difficult conversations. So, what this card is telling us is all that's coming to an end. So the invitation here is reflect on what has been heavy for you, what has been challenging or a struggle. And then we can, once you have reflected on this, what has been the heaviest lately, then you can do a meditation with a prayer in which you release that and say the energies at this time with that waning of the moon on the last quarter is asking me to release those challenges, to release those difficult conversations, that self doubt, those limiting beliefs, those arguments, anything that you want out of your life. The energy is calling for that, and the tarot is giving you that as a message as well. And then we move into Wednesday and Thursday when that last quarter comes in of the moon, and we have the two of challenges. So again, the two of swords in regular tarot. So what is these two coming to tell us once we pass that 10 of challenges? So the two is saying perhaps once you have reflected on this end of something that has been difficult, anything that you have to release with that waning of the moon. So these two is saying there will be a difficult decision or there will be a choice in which you will find it hard because either you will not have all the information or you will not feel prepared, right? So when you find yourself in a struggle to make a choice, that challenge is about making a choice, right? Always remember to find the answers on the inside, right? So, one of the practices I always recommend to my clients is ground and center your energy. That means do a grounding exercise. You can do it with the breath, preferably in nature, as that's the main energy we connect with, is the one of the earth. But if you are indoors, that's fine as well. Just connect with your breath. Close your eyes and go into a visualization in which you think of the two choices that you have right now, right? First, think of one. Whatever the choice is, romantic life, work, whatever it is, think of you making that choice. Visualize that choice. And then sense how your body is feeling. If your body is feeling at peace, content, happy, if there is mostly serenity around you, then that's the choice for you. Then visualize the other choice that you have to do or how many choices you have, but really centering that energy. If your body feels tense, if anxiety rises, that's not the right choice. Okay? So always remember the right choice brings you peace. That's your intuition. That's your spirit's guides guiding you as well. All right? So now let's look at the weekend, and that's from Friday all the way to Sunday. So, and the message comes from the huntsman. That's 11, right? And the Weaver of Boons. What a beautiful card. Okay, so let's see what the message of these cards is, right? So here the huntsman is bringing you the message of, okay, you've gone through this during the week, all right? So the end of challenges, releasing things, having to make difficult choices. So this is a time to remember to find a balance between your life, so in your energies of centering, seeing what's important right now, right? So centering after having released, making a difficult choice, centering what you want, and making sure that goal or whatever goal you have is set, even if it's having calm, having a peaceful weekend, or having a fun weekend, whatever it is, set that intention, right? And then remember that the word would be fairness. So remember to be fair in all your dealings, right? Um, it is the law of giving. The whatever you give out, you will receive. So Remember to act in fairness. Remember to set an intention. All right. And this is this weekend. And then the Weaver of Moons is saying, by doing that, by having done all this through the week, releasing the challenges that are coming to an end, making a difficult decision, setting an intention, and being fair in all your dealings, then by the end of the weekend, that it comes like an energy of, you know, going forward, of of things feeling as if as you see them in this card, it feels things feel good, right? It's as if messages are coming to you, abundance, anything good. So the end of the weekend is coming with a very good energy, right? It's as if you were given a gift of energy for the things you want. But in order to get there, the advice of the cards: release things that have been difficult at this time, mostly that have to do with thoughts and conversations. Make a difficult decision and then set an intention. Set an intention, be fair in your dealings with other, call that good vibe into you, and then enjoy the gifts that are going to come energetically to you. So anything that feels like a gift, that it could be as easy of finding a penny in the street, or getting good news, or a hug from a loved one, whatever it is. Take that as it is a blessing coming, so that energy can multiply. All right. So here we go. I hope you enjoyed your reading. You helped me by giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Remember, that way you don't miss any of the weekly videos I post or any of the daily shorts. And just reminding you that there are private offerings of live tarot sessions with me, as well as pre-recorded readings that you can find on my storefront and my website. All right, let's go with the second deck, the Blue Fairy. All right, for those of you who have picked the Blue Fairy, let's see what the tarot's message is and the energies for your week. Let's say a little prayer, set the intention for the beginning of the week, middle of the week, and end of the weekend. And see what the cards tell us. So we have the beginning of the week. Ooh, we got a big message here. So we have 4 cards that wanted to come out. And whenever cards want to come out, I usually set this for being a 3-card reading. But when I feel that there are more cards that want to come out, we read them. And whatever position they come in, it's a message that comes charged. So we read them. And here we have 2. So the cards for you who have picked the Blue Fairy come really charged. Okay, let's see the beginning of the week. And the beginning of the week comes from the Knight of Wands, that message, right? And that we say Monday and Tuesday energy. So momentum. This is Wands fire energy, right? So things are burning fast. So there is a momentum for something. So knowing that, as I said, we are with that energy that is waning of the moon, but at the same time, you have this knight who is fast. It's a fast momentum, and that fire energy. This is saying whatever you release now, whatever you let go of now, will have a fast closure. So let's examine the positive and the negative of this. So the positive of this is, let's say what you're trying to release is something that it's healthy, it's for your greatest good. Like we talked before, self-limiting beliefs, a relationship that's not working, a habit that you want to let go of, let's say eating too much sugar, whatever it is, it's going to gain momentum, right? Because you have that waning energy of the moon, but it's coupled with the Knight of Wands. So that's going to gain momentum. So that's wonderful. Now, let's look at the other side of this. So let's say it is something you do not want to end, right? Or it's not your intention to do. Let's say you have a discussion with somebody and it is not somebody you want out of your life, but it is just a little argument. Be careful, because whatever you do during this period is going to have a fast closure, right? So if it's something you want to release that it's positive, great. But if it is something, whatever it is, that you are not prepared to let go of, be aware, because we're coupling the waning energy of the moon with the fire energy and the momentum of the night. Okay? So it's very positive if you make that conscious choice of releasing things that you do not want. But be aware of being impulsive, because that momentum, that fire is going to go fast, and you may be letting go of something you're not prepared for. Okay, let's do them in order as they came out like this. So the first, we start with the Nine of Swords. Continue here with the King of Wands, more fire energy. The Queen of Cups, wow, and the Ten of Cups. All right. Let's begin with the Nine of Swords. So here we say it's Wednesday and Thursday. So this is that middle of the week. Let's put them like this so you guys can see them better. All right, so let's do it like this so you guys can see the cards. All right, that we got for the middle of the week. All right, so it begins with the message here saying, okay, right now our thoughts may be a bit heavy, right? So there may be some negative thoughts, some intrusive thoughts. This is an air element. We may feel caging, going through doubts. Something doesn't feel right. We do not feel right. But this card is saying, but this is all happening thought-wise, right? So whatever it is that is feeling heavy at this time, it has to do with your thoughts. So the message here is start examining your thoughts, right? Make sure that you are not creating problems that they do not exist just because you are making a bigger deal out of something in your mind, right? So the message and the reflection here is examine the thoughts that you have right now, okay? And then the king, what's the King of Wands? So we go from that air element to the fire element, right? And how these transitions into the King of Wands is saying, okay, reflect on your thoughts and be able to manage your impulses. Okay, so here is the message. Your thoughts may bring you distress. Now, move away from that and go into managing your impulses. Okay, so reflect on the thoughts, manage those impulses so you do not do anything impulsive at this time. And then by managing those impulses, keep regaining calmness by looking at your emotions. So we have here the king is that masculine energy, the queen we transition into a feminine energy, and cups, water element emotions, right? And here we have more cups. So reflect on your thoughts, manage your impulses, and then make sure you nurture your emotions. And how do we do that? How? By grounding ourselves, by making sure we're practicing emotional regulation, and also by any emotions that come up that we see as negative, by giving it that queen energy. That's that feminine energy of giving, reminding ourselves that we need to give ourselves validation also, right? That doesn't mean saying it's allowing certain things. But if we are angry, if we are sad, if it's an emotion that we see as negative, validate it, understanding, yes, I am feeling this, and there may be a very valid reason why I'm feeling this. So nurture it, right? Without being impulsive, nurture it, give it love, because love transforms everything. And then you move into this, the 10 of Cups. And this is the full transformation from this. Do you see the advice the cards have given you? So there will be some thoughts or some mental thinking that may start bringing you down, right? It says examine those thoughts. Do not be impulsive. Manage your impulsives and nurture your emotions. Practice emotional regulation, self love, self care. And then you will come out of this energy in the middle of the week with a full transformation. Your emotions will be settled. You will feel joy. Everything will have transformed from this to this. And in the middle, you have the cards advice. Do not be impulsive and validate yourself. Self care, emotional regulation, and lots of love to get to this. All right, so this has been the middle of the week. And now let's go for the weekend. So, the weekend energy, now we're feeling good here with the advice from the cards. And the weekend energy comes from the Page of Coins and the Four of Wands. And what does the Page of Coins tell us? You know, the weekend comes, Friday already, comes with an energy that it's of expansion, right? Of growth, of there could be some invitations, some messages, something that brings growth and opportunity and openness, right? So this is what the Page of Coins advises you. Stay open. Stay open for anybody sending you message or invitations for the weekend, or even messages from your spirit guides saying, hey, do this, go here. Be open to this and take it as an invitation from spirit, as a blessing coming, right? And the Four of Wands saying, because if you do this, you are going to be setting a good foundation for the week ahead, right? So the weekend for you is meant to be enjoyed, to look out at the beginning of the weekend for any either physical invitations that you get, a text, a call, an email, whatever it is from somebody, or also messages from spirit about you doing something. And this can come as inspiration to go somewhere. This can come from, you are going to the store or somewhere and you see an advertisement or an event that is happening in your community, or you go online and you see also something that's happening, an event to go to locally or virtually. Take that invitation, right? And that is going to bring a stable energy for you. It's going to say, hey, the weekend's going to end up well, and you're going to set the energy for the week ahead. So you've got good advice from the cards, and there have been pretty much everything, wands, swords, cups, but I see that we are starting with the Knight of Wands and we are ending with the Four of Wands, and then we have that King in the middle. So what this is saying is there is a lot of momentum for you, there is a lot of fire energy. So remember that things are gonna go quick for you this week, whatever you're setting with that waning energy of the moon. All right, if you liked your reading, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and check my offerings for personal readings, either live or pre-recorded. Now we go with those of you who have chose the yellow fairy. All right, and let's set the intention for the cards and say our little prayer that we are looking for advice for the energies, the beginning of the week, middle of the week, and end of the week weekend. Beginning of the week, middle of the week, and again, 2 cards for the weekend. All right, let's see what the energies say for you at the beginning of the week. And we have the 3 of Wands. All right, it starts again with fire energy. This is so interesting, as we have that energy from the full moon that ends, and we're moving into that waning energy of the moon going into the last quarter. So the 3 of Wands. And the 3 of Wands is all about moving forward, very similar to the Knight of Wands. But this is moving forward after having made a decision. So this is saying, okay, your advice here, or the advice from the cards is, okay, it is time to look at the choices that are in front of you. Look at what's going on in your life, reflect on that, and choose something to focus on this week, right? So this is all about not multitasking, but saying, hey, this week, most of my energy, or I wanna go forward to something that has to do with my love life, or with my career, or with a project that I have coming, or with friendships, whatever it is, the beginning of the week is saying examine the areas in your life and make a conscious choice of where you're going to put that intention, that fire energy, right, to move forward for the week. So this would be the advice of this card. Now, remember, again, just like before with the last deck about the Knight of Wands and coming into this energy of the waning moon, whatever you decide to focus on, right? It's not a decision about focusing your intention for it to grow, but it is focusing your intention, also knowing that there is a waning energy, that it is a decreasing energy that the moon brings us. So, okay, let me give you an example. Let's say you want to focus on romantic relationships and your relationship with your partner. So perhaps what you want to think about or work on this week towards that is what you need to release. So let's say jealousy, arguments, anything that it is negative, because we are releasing during this week, right, with that moon energy. Now, let's say you're not in a relationship. So releasing self-doubt, negative talk, again, anything that we want to let go. Do the same for work. Whatever it is that you make, that you see in your life, that it is time to focus on, and couple it with that energy of release that the moon, the waning moon, is bringing. Okay, so make a conscious decision. Now, more fire energy, and this is Wednesday and Thursday, so the middle of the week. So okay, here you've reflected, you've made a choice about what you're going to be working on, and here it's giving you the Ace of Wands. So it's giving you an opportunity, all right? An opportunity, a fire thing. And that's right on Wednesday when we have really that last quarter moon. And this is saying, here you have an opportunity to let go of something that is very important, that will have a deep effect on your life in a positive way. Okay? It's again, whatever you've made a choice on here, right? Now you're going to be given an opportunity based on that choice to let go of something that's going to transform your life in a very positive way. The Ace of Wands is a very positive card. It's fire energy, it's rapid energy. But here, because we have it on that release of the moon, right? Is saying you made a choice of what to focus on, and then you're going to find an opportunity to transform um, something important in your life by releasing, by letting go, by making that choice and the adjustment that you have to make. So stay alert this week. You are getting once, that's fire energy, and an important card that it's a gift that's going to be given to you by spirit. So very, very powerful cards you're getting. Let's say what the weekend brings. And we have the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Wow, wow, wow. We're moving from fire energy all through the week to the weekend, bringing that water energy, that emotions and love, all of that. So, okay, here we started with making a decision what to focus on this week. We get the opportunity to release something that's going to have a big impact on our life. And then the weekend brings us the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Cups. And these are very positive cards that have to do with our emotional life. That could be seen as love, friendship, or just contentment with ourselves. So the Nine of Cups say, it's very celebratory. You see all these cups here, and it's very celebratory. Look at everything that's going well at this time. Take the weekend to be grateful, to give yourself a lot of love, right? So these cards together say gratitude, doing things for yourself. So this queen, that is the Queen of Cups, she's generous, she's intuitive, she's generous with her love, because it's not the Queen of Coins, but she's loving, she's very intuitive, right? And here he's saying, be grateful and enjoy your weekend, but the weekend energy is all about you, right? So put that focus on you, not on what others want, but on celebrating you, on practicing self care, on going to places that you enjoy. And if you enjoy sitting at home and doing a marathon of Netflix, so be it. This weekend is all about you and you feeling content and happy in your skin. Okay? Let's recap for you because you have an interesting energy of the week. Beginning with fire energy and the number 3, that it is growth after having made a choice or focusing on something. So it advises you look at your life, see and make a very conscious choice of what you're going to be focusing on this week and going forward with. Then in the middle of the week, stay open for, based on that, an opportunity that is given to you by spirit, something that will come up and say, oh, this is my opportunity. And whatever choice you make around here is going to have a big impact in a positive way. So when the weekend comes, it's very celebratory. It's about enjoying the weekend and making this weekend energy all about you. All right. So I hope you liked your reading as well. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss daily shorts All right. And weekly videos where we look at week energies, we look at phases of the moon, any love life, career healing, as in energy healing, and also as a practicing druid. And I look not only at the phases of the moon, but also the seasons in nature that we're in and how that reflects in what's going on within us, right? So, again, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. And if you have questions about my offerings, please do not hesitate to reach out by phone, by email, by direct message. And you can also purchase pre recorded readings as well as live sessions with me. There is something for everyone at every budget. All right, have a fantastic week and brightest blessings your way. Bye bye. Thank you for subscribing.